something wrong with the two of you.
So Jack in the Box.
Should we get started with this episode here?
Yeah, it's October again. It's going to be different this year. We're not doing any bits. It's just going to be a straight serious show. No bits.
Nothing.
Hold on. Someone's at the door. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. I think you have the wrong door. I don't know, dude. I don't know who that was. Just some guys with asking for Brian. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no Brian here.
Where were we? All right, no bits.
No bits.
No bits.
So, hey, everyone. Thanks for checking out the Found on Shelf podcast, the podcast that doesn't just talk about 30-year-old movies. In fact, today we've got an actual new release to discuss, and I'm Dustin, and joining me is my co-host Patrick. How are you today?
It's hot in Texas.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter when this episode airs. It's always going to be a truism.
That's true. Well, no, because this episode's going to air in October, because this is kicking off our Halloween episodes, and October isn't too bad in Texas. At least it wasn't when I was there.
And the climate changes accelerate it.
Yeah. There's like 2 weeks in October that's like really nice. And that's about it for the entire year.
Yep. I'm looking for the 2 weeks, man.
Yep.
But yeah, so we're watching a more recent film, Longlegs, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's not a part 3 movie, Patrick. This is our third season, and we're only doing part 3 movies. And since it is Halloween, much to the chagrin of our editor, we are going to release weekly episodes once again.
Yeah, I wonder who the unlucky asshole we've got to do that is.
That poor schmuck. Oh well, at least he gets paid good, right?
Yeah, just not from you. Okay. Jack in the Box. So, how did you hear about this movie? Why are we watching Jack in the Box?
Well, I had never really heard of it before. I think I saw somebody mention it on some of the social medias, like Twitter or something. It might have been Jeff Whitmore, the guy that does the Weird Al of horror, he calls himself, with the music parodies. I think he posted about it, and yeah, and then so he was just talking about how much he liked, Jack in the Box 1 and 2, and then somebody posted a response saying that part 3 was going to be coming out soon, and I was like, oh, I need to pick this for the podcast. This is another example of why I need to screen movies before offering them to you.
Yeah, well, after my mistake with Coffin Joe, I figured I'd prepare. So before this movie, I took like a shit ton of mushrooms, like an inadvisable amount of mushrooms. And I experienced true ego death right around the time the Jack in the Box demon showed up. So my recollections of this film may be different than yours.
Well, it's good that I've got 5 pages of notes, so I think we'll be all right.
Okay, what do you have to say about the mechanical elves?
Yeah, this movie actually wasn't that bad. I think I really need to this is why I need to screen the movies, because this wasn't as horrible as I thought it was going to be.
See, our methodology is I pick a movie that I think will be bonkers or insane in some way, but fun. And Dustin picks a movie designed to break me. And we have varying degrees of success with that.
Yeah.
I almost broke you with the penis movie, where you with the symbol.
I love Symbol. I actually recommended that to somebody today.
Today?
Yeah, they were like, they posted something, and they're like, what's, if you had a chance to just show one like off the wall movie to somebody and just make them watch it, what would it be? And I'm like, Symbol.
An excellent choice.
Because it's actually good, but it's fucking bizarre. So it's like, all right. It's one of those movies that people wouldn't hate me we're watching.
Exactly, like Winter Beast.
Yes. No, not like Winter Beast at all.
Okay. Jack in the Box. I have to pitch it.
Yeah. What's your pitch?
You got 90 minutes to kill, and you're looking for like a kind of run-of-the-mill horror movie that won't melt your brain with how bad it is. Jack in the Box. Are you looking for something that is exclusively on like a Tubi or Prime type setup, but you would like it to be a decent movie with production values? Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
Okay. I will tell you, doing this show with you has lowered my standards so much because it came on, and it was like a real camera with like real lighting, and I'm like, oh. We're in for a treat.
Well.
Like twiddling my little fingers. Like, a decent movie for once. It's okay. Like, no, it's like it's nothing to write home about. But I do view movies differently now.
Yeah.
So I guess
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear the actual trailer for Jack in the Box?
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Hello, I'm Jack, founder of Jack in the Box. Perhaps you remember when I was 5.
Oh, wait, sorry. That's the wrong Jack in the Box trailer. That was a Jack in the Box fast food restaurant commercial from the early 90s. Hang on, here's the trailer.
His diary, the diary of the man who captured it, chronicles how he enslaved the Yakastamara in this box forever.
You want me to go and steal the box?
First, Raven, I need you to find it.
I didn't mean for any of this. What is that thing, Raven?
And there you go. Jack in the Box rises.
How many trailers have that same impact noise followed by a ticking clock with settler impacts on each ticking clock and a drone coming up? Because this is like it's so cut and paste. Like everyone does that exact trailer. I actually thought
you know what
it was
you
going
should
to be
do.
a slowed down, creepy version of Pop Goes the Weasel. I
That
was
would've
not
been
expecting
great.
just kind of like a generic, like every trailer ever that we get these days. That kind of like thriller action movie. Yeah.
And then like everything goes quiet.
Well,
And then a scream.
The ticking clock too is important.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
for horror movies and thrillers, you get that tick 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 tick
Right.
tick on the beat.
Because time has everything to do with this movie. It doesn't work for all of them. But yeah, so that's it. And yeah, you're right. I do wish they would have he had done that a little bit better. And now you're reminding me that I forgot to cut that fucking Jack in the Box. I forgot to cut that music. The ding ding ding. God damn it! I'm gonna cut it and send it to you, and you can drop it in at the end.
It's a no bits episode. This doesn't have to be a bit.
No bits. So Patrick, I take it you were not familiar with the Jack in the Box movie franchise, were you?
No, I have since looked into it to some extent.
I actually went back because I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. I went back and watched the first two to just sit back and enjoy them.
Yeah, let's take some time to really dig in. I feel like this is going to be like one of those episodes that's really heavy on like the first 30 minutes of the movie, and the rest can just fuck off. There's so much I want to talk about. So tell me a little bit about the Jack in the Box film series. What's the history? What's the lore? I'm all ears.
So basically, the running theme throughout all the movies is that there's a box. Once it opens up, a demon's released, and it will kill 6 people, and then it goes back in the box.
The box. You opened it. We came.
Yeah, it seems familiar, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, so in the first movie, it took place in a museum, and a guy from America comes over. He's working in the museum. The mysterious box shows up. He turns it. Jack pops out, and then the killing starts. And I won't kind of spoil it for you, but at this point in the first one, at the point in the movie, it was not established that the person that opens the box will not be killed. That is established in this movie. So in part 1, eventually.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
he keeps getting his butt kicked, and he's like, why isn't he killing me? But anyway, so that was that one. It had a lot going for it that most indie films don't. Like you were mentioned, it has a decent script. It's got actual like character backstories. It's got good music and lighting, and I was like, okay, this looks like a movie.
Made by my movie professionals.
Yeah. And then so you had your second film was called The Jack in the Box Awakening.
Why was it any of them called Unboxing?
I don't know. It went from Awakening to Rises, I guess. So it was kind of interesting in this movie. There's an old woman who's like bedridden and has cancer, and she has her son go out and find the box because she's researched it and she actually knows what the box is capable of doing. So they change up the lore a little bit in this second one to whereas whoever opens the box, once the Jack kills the 6 people, they get a wish granted.
Yes.
So
Go and tell them there's a creature loose in the city. A creature that feeds on wishes.
So I have kind of a problem with that lore, because what happens is you have to select the word on the box, and she wanted her life back, so she selected the word life, right? So I'm like, this box was supposed to be made in like France in like the early whatever, like 1600s or something like that, I think. Wouldn't the letters be in French? And shouldn't you use French words?
Wait, stop. The French use the Roman alphabet.
It's different. They've got different things. They've got different markings and slightly different.
You've got like affectations and umlauts and stuff, but like okay,
the letters are the letters, granted.
Okay, but also it's like you could with the magic, I'm sure you can just say whatever language you're in, right? Because in terms of most magic, it's using words to visualize intent. Spelling it out, as long as your intent is there, should still work with the demon. And the demon probably speaks different languages.
I guess I don't know. And then what if you want a wish and it's more than 4
what
letters?
If you spell dong because you want a bigger dong, but the demon, because you spell dong, just gives you a giant bell at the end?
Or he just fucks you with his giant dong.
Yeah, win-win.
Yeah, it's maybe like you said, it's the intent that's in your mind.
So
if you did that.
I don't know. This demon does seem to be playing Wordle though, because it is just whatever words fit in the box that correspond to Jack, and you have 4 letters, right? So like you are fucked if you can't think of a way to phrase your desire within a 4-letter word.
And you got to be real specific in that 4-letter word, like you said, dong.
Jack in the Box
specific.
4. Dong.
Yeah, dong.
The dong rises.
Dong.
Crossing over with Ass Clown soon.
Oh boy. So this lady goes and gets she tracks down the box, and the box is actually mentioned from where it came from in part 1, and she wants to basically let the creature out of the box and let the creature kill a bunch of people, so she gets her wish and bring herself back to life. That's kind of it. But I mean, there's again another kind of decent backstory, with these characters. There's a little bit of a twist at the end of the movie. It's pretty good, and that brings us to part 3, Jack in the Box Rises. And I would say that it's a rare third entry we've discovered that actually continues some of the story from part 2, but doesn't require you to have watched it.
Yeah, like a good franchise should.
It's a sequel and a standalone. It worked. It was competent, which is not the same for a lot of these movies.
I mean, with the exception of like Death by Dialogue, which is truly a competent piece of filmmaking.
Oh yeah. And see, this is a British movie. See, they can do movies. They could do some more movies. Fish and chips are all right.
Okay, Jack in the Box. the way
Anyway, now we are at part 3.
I have a lot of questions and comments, but the way it starts, and stop me if this sounds familiar to you at any point. So 3 thieves are breaking into a house late at night because they are looking to get a treasure. In this instance, it is a cursed artifact, but they're looking to get an item of great value from this house, right? But the owner actually is still in the house. And the owner is an old man. He's an old man, though, so he should be defenseless. It shouldn't be a problem for these 3 vaguely teenager-ish thieves. But he's there, and he's a badass, and he super murders 2 of them immediately, and the third one, the girl, barely escapes with her life. Now, I feel like I could have possibly maybe seen that somewhere before. Justin, do you know of any movie that fits that description?
It does not sound familiar at all. But this movie only had 3 parts as opposed to what 10 movies in a reboot.
What are you referencing?
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser? No. This is
What are you referencing?
This is a straight up riff on Don't Breathe. The movie starts with Don't Breathe.
Oh, okay. Wait, did I see Don't Breathe? Which
you would remember? There is no possible way you could forget the fucking turkey baster.
Okay, no, yeah, no. You know what I was thinking about was the that John Krasinski movie.
Be Quiet? No, Quiet Place. I fucking hate John Krasinski.
Yeah,
I am like the lone voice in the middle there, just going, "This guy annoys me. What are you talking about?" Just like he shows up on screen and his face and his voice, it just fills me with an indescribable rage that comes from nowhere because I don't really care about him. But like, it's just like his whole vibe is like, nope, don't want any of it.
But okay, so am I mistaken in the Hellraiser? I don't remember. I don't remember which Hellraiser it was, but I swear there was one where people went in to break in and steal something from the guy, and they accidentally unleashed it.
I don't know. Like who keeps watching the Hellraiser movies? Like, okay, disclaimer, I love Hellraiser. Hellraiser's fucking amazing. I love the first 2 movies. I love the book. I've read over and over again. I have one of those like expensive like metal replicas of the Lament configuration.
Nice.
I love Hellraiser. But the movies take a real nosedive real fast, and a lot of them are just borderline unwatchable. Some past that border. I think one of them's like From the Mind of Clive, and Clive was like, "This is even from my asshole." So like, I love the remake. The remake's cool. The remake's awesome. Yeah,
the remake was actually pretty good.
Okay, I don't know. But like this movie is doing a parody. I don't know if it's like a parody or a riff on Don't Breathe, and that's important because I'm going to circle back to it later. The premise of Don't Breathe is these 3 kids break into an old blind man's home because they heard he was rich, and they're going to break into his home and steal his money. But he's like an old, he's like a deranged veteran, and he is he's like fucking evil Rambo. So he's blind, but he's wandering through the house and just super murdering all of them, and they can't see because it's dark, but he can't see at all, so he knows his own house, and he's just like plowing through them. So he's the monster in the darkness, right? And that's what they're doing here. Now,
gotcha.
That movie does have a 3rd act twist, which I would consider to be one of the worst things I have ever seen in a movie, and I hate
that's
it.
what I've heard.
And I hate that movie, but that's what they're doing here, is they're making fun of that. So they never get to that. It's just that guy comes. I think it's a cursed doll they're after. I think they're trying to get like Annabelle or some shit that's in this guy's house, and he just like Rambo murders them, and she runs away barely with her life, and that's how the movie starts.
Yeah, which is weird and had nothing to do with anything else really in the movie.
We are circling back to it though, because I have a point at the end. So they start there.
All right.
And then she's like in an office, and she's reporting to the person that sent them. And it turns out that they were trying to find this artifact on behalf of a paranormal collector who like runs this underground mafia ring to collect paranormal artifacts. So this is the coolest thing in this movie.
I want to see that movie.
Was this in any of the other movies?
No.
This shit is what the movie should have been. This guy and his underground paranormal collecting ring. That shit is fucking radical. How did they come up with this amazing idea and insert it into kind of an okay movie, and then just just jettison it because it's literally there as
It could be a spin-off. They could make a spin-off of it.
It is strictly the framing device to get one character from point A to point B. Point A is the Don't Breathe parody. Point B is Satan's finishing school for girls.
I
think it's boarding school. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're
1973.
All right.
It's just Satan's school for girls. Look at this. We're adding extra words. You know what we're doing? We're being inefficient. And that's what the screenwriting is, because there's no reason that she couldn't have just started at the school.
Yeah.
None of this mattered. The coolest part of the movie has no impact on the rest of the film. Like it does a little bit at the end for the twist, but you could also have done the twist better. I already have what I would change for my 3 things, and it's going to make the movie completely different. But
okay, all right. Yeah, I mean the director has done. He kind of seems to do a lot of these kind of spooky, not overly. I would say my biggest gripe about this movie was there's just not a lot of the kills weren't as good as I wanted them to be, and they were very the same thing over and over and over again.
Literally the same thing over and over again.
I'll put my hand on your face.
Yeah. So he ratchets up the tension really well, and just has all this buildup, and then the kill is just this anticlimactic. Jack in the Box grabs the person's face with his claws and kind of shakes them a little.
Yeah. Gives them a little.
Not a lot of blood either. Just like and I'm like, every time though, it's no variation.
Yeah. That I think would be my biggest complaint about it, but we'll get to the changes later on. One thing is, so this guy in the office, Harvey, did you notice that every time they went from a kind of a faraway shot to a little bit more of a close-up shot, that when he was up close, his shirt was unbuttoned with no tie, and when it was a faraway shot, he had his shirt buttoned up with a red tie on?
No, because of the mushrooms.
Oh, that's right. So he tells a story about this box that he wants her to go find, and he says, I got it from this old lady Olga, who was the character in part 2. So it's the same. It's they're continuing it, and now the house that they lived in part 2 is now been turned into an all girls school.
So he's abducted her father, I guess because of debts that the father's probably owed. I gotta buy this one more cursed artifact, just one more and I'm out. Oh wait, there's another cursed artifact, I gotta get that one. I'm not sure how this breaks down. It's not clarified in any really satisfying way, and it doesn't seem like, I guess it was mostly kind of an afterthought to do this. But so he's holding, and apparently this is her dad is all she has in the world. So they're holding the dad hostage, and they're going to kill him unless she can settle his debt by collecting cursed artifacts. And if she gets this one, this evil Jack in the Box, then all the debt's wiped clean. Now, to do this, she has to pose as a boarding school student, which is what happens next. However, Harvey says something interesting here, in that her dad's money will buy her way into school. So they have money, and money isn't the issue with the debt.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing here. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, a little weird.
So again, all of this could have been cut, and she could have just been starting at the school and found the Jack in the Box, or found the spooky books that tells you about the Jack in the Box and found the Jack in the Box.
Yeah, it really could have.
The Yaktamara, what do they call it?
Yakatamara, Yakitori sauce. I don't know.
Yakatumi.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. Another weird thing is that all 3 of these movies, for some reason, have a character that came from America, and for real, no real reason. The first one was just a guy who was trying to escape his past when he let his girlfriend called him up and she was getting stabbed.
Do you think that because they are trying to sell to the American market, they thought having an American actor with an American accent would be more accessible and stream better?
That's possible, but instead they got British actors with American accents.
Right. I've seen True Blood.
So it didn't. It's weird, and there's really no reason these characters needed to come from America. They're not American actors. It's just, why don't you just, again, like you said, you just start at the boarding school. Just hire a British person. You're right there. You're filming there. Dude, get that guy. He's right there.
There's some needless complication at the beginning of this movie, and I feel like it only exists so they could have the Don't Breathe scene. Which,
That's
again,
possible.
You could do that scene And it's a story in a book one of the kids is reading or writing or telling, right? Like you can just have that make believe.
Yeah.
But you could get that scene in there.
Right.
And then you segue away from it. So there's still a way to do this. And we are backseat writing, which is not really fair to the movie. But also, I feel like they could have just. My problem is I'm always saying we can cut this.
Every movie would be 45 minutes long in your world.
90 minutes in and out. Done.
Just
They don't need to be longer. John Carpenter is right. 90 minutes in and out. You find me a John Carpenter movie that's more than 100 minutes long. Almost all of them are 90. The Thing is like 100.
Nice. Where are we at in this movie? 5 minutes into the movie.
Okay, so she goes to the boarding school. Let's talk about the boarding school. So, so in the fiction of the film, the boarding school it was the manor from a couple years ago. The manor was the site of a brutal massacre. The whole thing was caked in blood. 6 people brutally murdered. Everyone, and then I'm assuming Olga disappears. So you have this derelict, desolate manor that's the site of all these murders.
Well, but here's the thing: is because most of the people aren't murdered. I mean, they're not. Their bodies aren't discovered. And
Harvey specifically said that the entire place was caked in blood.
Yeah.
And we can see that when she finds the hidden place. So 6 people at least disappeared and the place was covered in blood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And they chose to turn that place into a boarding school. Put a pin in it.
Rent was cheap.
Hold on. Yes, and that is true. But like, hold on. And then when the headmistress is giving her like tough headmistress act, she's like, people pay me for the reputation of this school. Put a pin in that. Now, which is true, boarding schools exist based on the reputation, which is usually built over years, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but within the fiction of this story, the massacre at the manor and here, this moment, the span of time between those 2 points is 6 years. Now, I ask you, is 6 years enough to build up the kind of reputation a boarding school would need to have to be this kind of place?
Okay. Counterpoint. What if the boarding school was at a different location for the past 50 years, but it suddenly caught on fire and they needed to find a new building?
Would their reputation be hindered by the fact that the new building was the site of 6 murders / disappearances and the site of like just so much blood?
Rent was cheap. Just good business move.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like you said, that was yeah. I think they just wanted to. This is like Charles Band's castle. I think somebody owns this property or knows somebody that owns it or something.
Yo, this is like a thing right now with these types of movies that are coming out, because this is what the dinosaur hotel movies do. They get like a fancy house and then just film in it.
Yeah.
This is what this did too. They got in a fancy house and just filmed in it, pretending it was a boarding school. But it's clearly just like gothic Airbnb. It may be the same hotel from Dinosaur Hotel. Who's to say?
This is true.
It certainly has some similar features. But okay, so she gets there. Her by the way, her name is Raven.
Yeah, of course it is.
I like at the end, she's getting talked down to by Harvey while he has the drink in his hand about how, you know, their dad could die at any time, but give me this soul stealing demon and I'll release your debt. And she's like, I'll do it. I'll do whatever. And so they have this weird, serious conversation. She walks out. He's got a drink and he goes, "Oh, Raven." She's like, "And by the way," and I want him to go, "Azarath Metrion Zinthos." "Oh, Raven." But no,
yeah.
she's got like a goth name. She's going in there like,
of course.
That's my square name. My real name's Raven. Night Pain.
Yeah.
Blood of the Ancients. But so she's the bad girl. She's the American.
Yeah.
She gets her phone taken away from her by the headmistress because you can't have phones. Okay.
Yeah, you can't have phones, even though they make a reference. I don't remember if this is in the second or the third movie where they couldn't get the cell phones to work where they were.
Yeah, this is all because movies have to do a thing. So you're being terrorized by a monster. You have to do certain things in the narrative to make that make sense. The first thing they have to do usually is trap. So it's like when a monster or a slasher or maniac starts killing people, you don't go, well, we could just get the hell out of here. Well, there's a reason you can't get the hell out of here. In The Evil Dead, the bridge is blown out, right? Yeah. In The Shining, you're snowed in. In The Thing, you're snowed in. In Ravenous, you're snowed in. So they have to find a way to like isolate you and keep you in the killing area, right? They have to keep you in the area with all of the danger. And but the other thing in modern movies is you have to have a way of not just isolating people from leaving, but isolating them from asking for help, because everyone has a cell phone. So you have to disable the cell phone in some way. Or at least some movies take that approach, right? So that's what this part is. It's like, let's get rid of the cell phone so that we can talk about it. Although, again, you could have done the same thing by just having the spirits fuck with things, right?
Yeah. Or, yeah, just have. I mean, it was out in the middle of nowhere. It could have been a no Wi-Fi zone.
Are you sick and tired of being one of those chumps who only knows one language, like an idiot? Isn't it time you picked up a second language? But what's that? You're too hipster to pick one of those languages people already speak? No worries, Dead Tongue has you covered. With a wide assortment of dead languages, you too can be the annoying prick who has mastered multiple languages that you can't add to your resume. They have Latin, Sumerian, Zombie, Mordor, and even Lemurian. Simply sign up today, and Dead Tongue will send you an actual dead tongue from a corpse that spoke your selected language. Mortar it into a paste and mix it into a tea with wormwood and some of your own blood. Then imbibe it during a blood boon, naked, on sacred ground with an unobstructed view of the sky. It's that easy. Dead Tongue. Enter our promo code SHELF for 20% off your first tongue.
And it's also weird because they're there off like during the summer break or something, right? Like because there's like 6 girls in the school.
This is super important.
Yeah.
They're there during summer break, again, because they don't have the money to shoot in a real school, and they don't have the movie money to shoot enough girls to make it look like it's a school. So off season.
Yeah.
We just magically board people during the off season and onboard people in the off season. So there are 7 people in the house total, 6 girls and the headmistress and her son, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's not right. There's 8 because 2 people live. So Raven makes the 7th girl.
Okay.
That's math, right?
That's yeah. We're not a math show.
No, of course not. Clearly. we have no math, and we have no math and no bits.
Yeah, if
my air conditioning keeps making that sound. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't, it's not picking up over here, so I think it's I think it's in your head, possibly. Okay, so yeah, you got all these. Raven sneaks out at night with a metal detector to try to find where the box is hidden, which is kind of weird. And then Jack shows up and slashes her throat, and then it's like, poof, that was just a dream. Dun, dun, which is, it must have been a dream because Jack didn't just grab her face.
Okay, so there are like 6 girls, or so we just established 7 girls.
Just a gaggle.
There's a gag. Okay.
Gaggle of girls.
Gaggle of girls.
A gaggle of girls. Yeah.
You get different genres of girls represented. Not every genre. Cowgirls is conspicuously missing, and as you know, there's got to be a cowgirl. Right? If you see, My Little Pony or any of the I think the Twitch show, the Tween Witches.
I love that was like your very first one, just My Little Pony, or
of course. Oh yeah.
This is your official Brony podcast.
I'm pretty sure that there's at least one of those.
Oh my god, there's probably so many of them.
Yeah, but you've got the mean girl.
Yeah.
You've got her supplicants. Mm-hmm. You've got the nerdy girl.
Yeah, shy nerdy girl. Yeah.
And you've got 2 versions of that, right? You've got the do-gooder, like positive in your face, but clearly nerdy, dorky girl, and then you have the shy, mousy, easily bullied girl. They're both versions of nerd, but like different ways, right?
Yeah, one's like the president of the high school, and the other is just like a mathlete or some crap. Yeah. Yep.
You got a different assortment of people. The mean girl is important because the tension that comes from the thing as Raven is investigating for the Jack in the Box during the first half of this movie. The tension that comes from this, all of the drama in the school, is interpersonal drama between the girls, and so the mean girl, the popular girl, quote unquote, who bullies everyone else, and keeps everyone in line, is specifically targeting the mousy girl, and they both like the same guy, the only guy, the headmistress's son. So the mean girl and him are in a secret relationship and totally fucking.
Yeah.
However, him and the mousy girl both have crushes on each other and are trying to keep it secret from the mean girl. And also, the mean girl just instinctually like torments the mousy girl all of the time. Right.
Also, he's a mid-20s guy in an all-girls school. I don't think he's going to make a commitment anytime soon.
No.
He's going to leave his options open. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, they're all like mid-20s people playing, I assume, teenagers.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's supposed to be. I went college in my head.
But it wouldn't be a boarding school if it was college.
It's Britain. It's cheap.
No, it's not.
This season has just messed my mind up. I'm not right now.
I'm glad that I have broken you as thoroughly as you've broken me, but it's been a more cumulative effect, and it was basically just this one bit on the show without bits.
Yeah. There's no bits.
The third part gimmick.
Yeah.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to make is she's the popular girl / mean girl archetype, right? And she's tormenting all these people in the school. But if we zoom back a little and look at the framing of the actual movie, she's one of the girls who can't even go home, who stays there all year.
Right.
She is not the mean girl, popular girl. She's just being mean to them because everyone else is gone. Because there's no way she's that high up in the pecking order when the kids who actually have homes to go back to come back in the fall.
Yeah, you're probably right. She's just the hot shit in the summer.
Yeah. So, and that's probably hot shit in the summer. It's just it's bad Texas memories. But
that'd be a good punk band name.
Yeah.
We are hot shit in the summer. Yeah.
Slag off. But no, that's my point. It's like, and it's not really what's happening here. What's happening is they wanted these archetypes and they had a low budget, so it works within their framing device. But what the narrative that establishes, the meta narrative, is actually there's a whole other story we're not seeing, and it's probably why she's such a bitch right now, is because she's not really all that in a few months from now, and she gets part of it. So it's like the chain of screaming, or from what's that, Scrubs or How I Met Your Mother? Anyway,
the fact that you have thought this much about their characters just kind of speaks to about the quality of the writing on this film. Because you were invested in these characters now. You've thought about their backstories, Patrick.
Yeah, well, it's just ostensibly because I figured out a way of writing it that I think would have been more compelling towards the end too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm sitting there like going with what has been created and what you could modify to make it just that much better.
Yeah,
because it's not bad.
No,
but
no. It's got some really bad reviews, and I'm like, it's not that bad, guys. Like, there's
perspective, right?
Yeah. Right.
Like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Oh, honey, no.
Yeah. Come here.
I like there's this.
That's a no bless your heart moment.
there's a Master Chef like early episode where Gordon Ramsay's like in talking to people. It's like, I want you to think of the best food you've ever eaten, and I guarantee you, I've eaten better. I think about that with bad movies. Like, I wanted you to think about the worst movie you have ever seen.
Yeah, and then people are like showgirls, and you're like, oh, what? What?
I guarantee you, I have seen worse. So that's what's going on. The movie operates like this. Raven has entered into the school. She is investigating. There's an assortment of characters in which she's playing interpersonal tension too. But she has a book that Harvey gave her, which is a document of the Yakel demon and all the rituals and the rules and the methodology of interacting with said demon and the ways to which to find him. Olga left the book, and she left it with secrets on how to find where the Jack demon is hidden in this manner, because it's sealed up behind a secret room and no one can find it. This is where the movie is like really like trying to think of ways to be interesting, because she gets there and she immediately finds it, figures everything out, and it's like super obvious just reading the text.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's behind the shelf over there. Like, oh, fuck, it's right there the whole time. Damn it.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. So she finds the box, but
because she has to get the book, and it says that, and it said like the key the key to the story is between these covers, and of course it's a
There's a little key in the book
in the cover.
that
I was
Harvey just never found. Who would
Yeah.
believe it? If you take your head from your ass and just kind of look around, you may find it. I didn't, and that's why I was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Like what? So she opens the door to like the derelict part of the house. It's the old mansion from the old murders. But here's the headmistress. Panics and tries to seal the wall up.
Mm-hmm.
But there's someone watching her. Someone with black gloves, like a Giallo killer. And we POV see them actually turn the crank on the box and summon Yakko. Then the killing starts, right?
Right. And can we talk? I just have a real complaint to make here.
Yeah.
All these stupid YouTube videos that say POV when blah blah blah. Like, you're not actually doing a POV. POV is point of view. It's as if you are the camera. It's not just like, oh hey, I'm at Jack in the Box ordering some food.
Yeah,
It drives me nuts.
Zoomers don't watch porn. They don't know what POV means.
I guess so.
No, but
Ooh, wait till we get to Hotel Inferno if you want to see POV.
Oh Jesus God! No, so it's those are really more like my feeling when.
Yeah.
than, like in MFW, but for whatever reason POV.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm against TikTok in general.
Yeah, me too. I'm tired of it.
Not for any like weird conservative security reasons. I just don't like pivot to video, and I'm against the TikTokification. I of the internet. I like text. I like text memes, text articles, and the internet is turned against me in this, and they want everything to be 30 seconds videos. With like who's walking around with their phone with the sound on? What are we doing here? My phone's been on silent for a decade.
I haven't heard my ringtone in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my old man gripe. Like, to get off my lawn. Like, fuck you and your TikToks.
Which was the style at the time.
The Jack in the Box is summoned.
Yeah.
That's a longer impact than I thought it was.
Oh.
It
was yeah. Just a sound. No bits. No shenanigans.
No bits. Yeah, no bits.
So this was the kind of what I liked about it is it being kind of its own standalone movie, whereas it wasn't the same kind of flow. So in part one, you had a guy didn't know what the box does at all, and then it just goes crazy. Part two was the lady knows what it does, so she was like the mastermind behind it, trying to kill other people. Part three, somebody else did it, but you don't know who it is, and now it's a mystery. Now it's a whodunit thriller kind of vibe.
Yeah, it could have only ever been two people, and
Yeah.
I am upset that it was the one that it was, because there was a better story there.
All right.
But yeah, I think it could have only ever been one of the two nerd girls.
Yeah, of course. I did think it was going to be the other one, but
Yeah, because that's a better story.
yeah. But so yeah. So yeah, the mysterious person takes off running, and then the principal, Jack pops out and kills the principal. And then the box has numbers on it. It just changes over to 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked on the box, and at first I thought it said Bose. I was like, Bose? Yeah, I'm like, that's doesn't really. Yeah, but it said Rose.
So can we talk about that?
Okay.
It's a joke, right?
What?
Jack and Rose.
Oh God, I didn't even pick that up, but that is hilarious.
Yeah, you had a sinking feeling on that one.
Jesus Christ.
So the wish is Rose on the Jack in the Box. This box.
Yeah, that was out. That was it. The principal. Oh, Raven breaks into the principal's office to try to get her cell phone out, and she has like a little flashback of her dad in the alley getting, I don't know, after he just got beat up by Harvey or somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, again, this story makes no sense. Also, because like the only photos she has of her and her dad together, she's like wearing a dress and like, okay, it's like in a field somewhere. It's like, so it's like, but the framing of the alley is like drug addicts in poverty, right? So what exactly was the backstory of what was going on there?
There was, yeah, they never really talked about it.
Yeah, they didn't flesh it out very well. Okay, what I do like about
I'm
this,
thinking
though,
that the guy might have just been that her dad might have just been a junkie or something.
a junkie in debt to weird supernatural collectors,
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
and also he's the one paying for her boarding school. Or is Harvey supposed to be making a donation in the name
Yes.
of the Father? I
The
guess that's
Son
what
and the
they're
Holy
supposed
Ghost.
to.
Yes.
They caught the last train for the coast.
Jack in the Box.
Okay, but like, what happens here is the headmistress gets murdered by the Jack in the Box. She's the first one to go, and it cuts to the next day. And like you said, Raven's breaking into the room to get her phone. Raven, I like what they do here. Instead of doing this whole movie like you would normally have, like a Child's Play movie where the murders happen and your protagonist is saying exactly what's happened, but everyone thinks that they're crazy,
Mhm.
and then that just gets extrapolated and drawn out through the whole film. No, she just
Yeah.
comes in and she starts screaming at them like, "Okay, what are you fuckers? Summoned the demon last night. Which one of you has the box that summons the demon? We're all gonna die because of a demon."
Yeah.
And like no mealing around, no trying to trick anyone. It's like, okay, fuck you, fuck
Yeah.
all of you. One of you has doomed us, like absolutely fucking doomed us. There's a goddamn demon on the loose. Fuck you. Tell me who has it. Who
Yeah.
has the box?
Yeah, it
Who
was
has
very
the box?
straightforward.
It was great. I love that. And then of course they all dismiss her. They start getting murdered again, and they're like, "Oh shit, no, she's right."
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so the Jack in the Box base, the movie. I don't know if we'll go through the paces of him killing every single girl.
No, because most of the
But-
kills, like we mentioned, they're all the same, pretty much. What you get is you get the little Jack in the Box pops out, and it kind of scares people, and they're like, "What is that?" And then the Jack goes down, and then out pops a little claw hand, and the next thing you know, it just grabs somebody's face, like at the end of Beetlejuice when everybody's dancing around the table and the shrimp comes up and grabs her face. It's pretty much that, and then there's just kind of a blood. There's usually like a trail of blood, and then you see like the person's hand disappearing into the box. Every single kill's like that.
So I guess plot wise, they say they're stuck because the gates are locked and they're
the
too
fence is
tall
too
to
high.
climb.
The fence is too high. The fence with all the trees near it is too tall, too high.
Yeah, there's no reason they can't just leave, but they try to act like they can't just leave.
Yeah.
And one girl is like, "No, I'm gonna leave," and then it looks like she gets mowed down. And this is the only kill that was slightly different. In this particular scene, Jack in the Box lunges at her with a scythe.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't pick up a tool in the rest of the movie.
So that is your first kind of hint, I guess. But yeah, and it also doesn't cut to the box changing. It does it for like the first two kills, and then it stops doing it, so you don't know if a person was actually killed or not.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll put a pin in that, come back to it.
All right, we got a lot of
and
fucking pins going on here.
We came back to 3 of them.
All right, cool. All right.
But listen, we're doing a movie with a demonic box that summons demons.
Mhm.
Of course, there are a lot of pins. They're all going in someone's head. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
We're gonna get there.
All right. At least you saw where I was going with the pin reference. All right, that's good. Oh yeah.
It's midnight over here, Dustin. Come on, give me some fucking slack. Jesus.
Well, let's see. Where the fuck are we in? Okay, where are we? Oh, Olivia and Dean. That's the mean girl chick and the boyfriend. They were like, "Oh, let's all go downstairs," and then they just locks them all in.
The mean girl and her boyfriend hatch a plan that they're just going to lock them all in a room so that the Jack in the Box kills them, and then her and the boyfriend are going to make a run for it.
And they don't want to make any noise because they don't want the demon to hear them.
Boyfriend's having a hard time with this because he does have a crush on the mousy girl.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, they do lock everyone in the room, but the Jack in the Box comes for them instead.
Yeah.
Of the people that they locked in the room, and ends up murdering Dean.
Yeah.
But Olivia escapes. to become a best-selling musical recording act. No,
Yeah.
that's wrong, Olivia. But, oh my God, I just realized the director of this movie is younger than me.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Should not have been looking at IMDb while we're talking.
Larry Fowler. Yep. Yeah. G Sport. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it too, right? Yeah. We have a podcast about movies that no one's listened to. This man's made 4 of them.
Yeah.
4 actual feature films.
Yeah. And I gotta say, you know what? It's a lot better than the 4th film from a lot of these indie directors that I see. It was quite enjoyable. Everybody should watch this movie. It's a fun watch.
It's fun. Okay.
Until about around this point, I think we're at the point where Olivia reads the book that says if you spell the word back and then turn the handle, the last victim will come back to life.
Yeah. Okay, so Olivia escapes the murder demon, and all of the other girls that she locked in the room break out, and they have a big fight. Then Olivia breaks off and realizes that she could probably get Dean back if she does this incantation, which is to go down there and spell his name, or spell Jack's name backwards or something.
No, just spell the word back.
Oh, right, and it brings the last victim back from the dead.
Right.
So we're playing by like creepypasta rules, right? Like you had those creepypastas that are just like games, like the elevator game, stuff like that. So I don't know if you're up to date on the latest creepypastas from 15 years ago, but it's okay. I'll tell you all about Ben Drowned. It's hot off the presses, but. So she goes and does that and spells back, but lo and behold,
I'll post that video on our Vine.
What, me explaining?
Yeah. Do you remember Vine? Was it Vine? Yeah, it was Vine. That was like the precursor to TikTok.
It was the precursor to TikTok, but it was better because it condensed everything down to 7 seconds, and in fact still is probably the best way to consume content on the internet.
Yeah. Although it didn't work long for them.
It worked for them until Twitter bought them.
And it didn't work for Quibi.
And Twitter, okay, it's because Quibi sucks. Quibi had a great idea of of just throwing shows at the wall, but then their thing was like 5 minutes, right? 3 to 5 minutes. Again,
something like that. Yeah.
7 seconds. That's why Vine worked. That's people's attention span on the internet. In, out, done. 90 minutes for a movie, 7 seconds for your video clips. You gotta get it shorter, man. You gotta get it shorter. There's too much content. You gotta cut it down.
Yeah, but I think they had it right in mind with a lot of people commuting, a lot of people sitting on buses and trains and all this stuff and airplanes, and they could just watch these little short clips. But like right when it came out, COVID hit. So everybody was staying at home and wanting to watch like full-length movies and TV shows.
Yeah, but also I kind of think that like Katzenberger is just bad at business.
I mean, that might be part of it. But they had this TV show. They had this one show. It was called like Dishelved, I think, where they were literally like, they would shoot food at you out of a cannon, and you'd have to guess what food it was.
Dan Harmon's wife wrote a show about having to share Dan Harmon with his sex doll.
Okay.
And that was on Quibi.
Yeah, great. See, it was ahead of its time, Quibi.
The best thing about Harmontown was getting to hear the episode where like half of the writers from Rick and Morty are trying to dispose of Dan Harmon's sex doll.
That's awesome.
That show was the best version of a podcast. And it's lost to time.
Yeah, it happens. So back to the movie. Dean comes back to life now because she did the word back and she turned the handle, but now he's like a zombie.
Yeah.
I guess Jack in the Box needed an assistant, so they kind of played with the rules a little bit and made this happen.
Yeah, it was one of those things where like, whoa, what if we get your wish, but it's cruel monkey's paw that murders you? And he tries to kill her. He doesn't though.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
Yeah, he eventually gets killed.
How does he get killed? At this point in the movie, the screen melted and I saw the face of God, so I think I may have hallucinated through whatever was going to happen.
Yeah, I put God, I don't even think I wrote in my notes how he got killed. What I did. Dean comes back as a zombie. Oh, this is right. Because Jack tried to walk out and he went into the moonlight and it caused him to smoke up, and that's what killed Dean was the blood.
Yeah.
There was a
blood moon, and apparently the light from the blood moon murders them.
The blood moon rises once again.
Yes.
Okay. No clips from this movie. All clips about this movie.
Prepare to beat off.
And some that's not even about this movie. So
You couldn't find another place to shoehorn that in, could
where
you?
else am I going to put that? It doesn't fit anywhere. I have my finger on the button just waiting for the right moment to use it. There's no right point in this movie.
It's like the Cold War. Like I got my finger on the button. I'm just waiting, just itching for the chance to use it.
Just waiting. I do have this other soundbite that I have yet to be able to
You're
use.
edging on using it.
Ah, God.
Pretty unexciting tits, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think that's staying on the soundboard.
It's staying on the soundboard.
Yeah, until I can have a good chance to use it. Anyway, okay, so yeah, blood moon, and then they all decide that they're going to arrange some mirrors to bounce the light of the blood moon around.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we find out later that the girl who almost got killed with a scythe, totally didn't get killed with the scythe.
Yeah.
So they try to do the blood moon reflection thing, but the Jack in the Box he storms them in the middle of it and like just beats them all to hell. He murders the mousy girl.
Yeah.
It looks like he murders the dorky girl. Mm-hmm. Totally. And Olivia runs, and she winds up in the basement and gets hit in the head. And it turns out that girl that almost got killed with a scythe, she's been alive this whole time. She escaped, and and she did the math, and she knows that if she chains up Olivia and summons the Jack in the Box, that Olivia will be the sixth victim, and her and Raven will live.
Yeah.
But she's not the one that opened the box.
Yeah.
So her math is wrong. And Olivia is sacrificed and gets murdered. And she's like, yeah, I did it. And then she realizes that the number didn't change, or it changed to 5 and not to 6. And one of the other girls that looked like they got killed didn't get killed. And then the Jack comes and murders her. Yeah. So now Raven sees it happen. And she she sees that the sixth number, and the spell starts working, and the magic's happening. So no one else is dying, but the wish is granted.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she gets stabbed in the kidney from behind by the dorky girl.
Yeah.
Who also was sent there, we find out, by Harvey like 6 months ago, but was sucking so much at finding the Jack in the Box. He sent Raven instead. Now, she got in bed. Okay. That doesn't really actually work very well in this analogy. Yeah. She's indebted to Harvey because Harvey was going to pay the money for her sister's cancer treatments. Mm-hmm. So this is how she was going to get that money. But her sister died of cancer while she was trying to get the money to save her from dying from cancer. So she had given up all hope, and then realized that this wish could bring back her sister, Rose. Yeah. And so she said, fuck it. Fuck Harvey. I'm summoning the Jack in the Box so that I can get my wish and get my sister back. And for whatever reason, that translates to stabbing Raven.
Sure.
Why?
I don't know.
But we see that the lightning, like the blue lightning, emanates from the box, and Rose appears alive at the gates. Yeah. She has the heart of the sea with her, so. Or is it the heart of the ocean? It's the heart of the ocean. God damn it. Yeah. The joke was right there. I fucked it. I fucked it up. I had the joke. We were steering. We were going to make a landing, and I ran right into an iceberg and just shot it. Okay.
Just went right down there. Yeah.
So anyway, the movie is going to end. Raven is crawling on the ground, screaming because she's dying. She's been stabbed, and she's being a dorky girl looks back at her and then slams the door shut, and it cuts to black.
Yeah.
Now, did this remind you of anything? Because I'm bringing that pin back from the beginning. Did this
Yeah, that was a
scene remind you-
very Saw-like experience for me.
It was Saw. It was just Saw. The movie starts as Don't Breathe and ends at Saw, and in the middle it's Wishmaster.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It does. I'm being reductive by calling it Wishmaster, but it does explicitly start with Don't Breathe and end with the final shot of Saw.
Yeah, that was kind of a interesting way to end it. But one thing that they've done in all of these movies is have that kind of open ending where, you know, it's never like Jack is defeated. He's just done. He did his time. He's good. Now he's moving on. He's gonna do something else. Like it's a great story. It's a great it's a great character. I feel I don't think they did enough with it, but it was a good character. Yeah.
Okay. It's cool. I think the kills could be better. The movie's fine.
The kills could be a lot better.
It is well put together. It's well made. It's a movie. 10 out
And
of
it's
10.
pretty much all practical effects, which is great. Jack is all done up. Great makeup and great costuming. It is good. There's definitely things that could be better, but it was pretty good. I didn't really have a lot on any of the actors or directors, other than the Lawrence Fowler. He directed, wrote it, produced it. Did the other two Jack movies, a movie called Curse of the Witch's Doll, The Ghost Within, and an upcoming film called The Companion. But he kind of seems to like to do those kind of long drawn out, more thriller horror than like scary horror, or it's kind of a different vibe. And the only other actor I could find was the guy that played Jack, who was, oddly enough, was in part 2 as a completely different role. And he did the body of Merv Pumpkinhead in the Sandman TV series.
Huh.
So there you go. Pumpkinhead and Jack Rises is the same person.
There you go.
So a little fun trivia there, I guess, for you. If you're ever at a bar on a Thursday night and they're doing movie trivia, now you know. Nicholas Anscombe was Pumpkinhead in the Sandman TV series.
So will Nicholas Anscombe be reprising his role in the Jack in the Box Dong?
Prepare to beat off.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. And on that note,
in a way, I brought you here to offer you a job. You think you can do it better, so here's your chance.
There you go, Patrick. You have 3 things to change. You must change 3 things. What 3 things are those? Go.
The first thing we're doing is cutting the entire opening. Now she's just going to boarding school and she finds the weird, creepy Jack in the Box book and learns all about it and tries to find the Jack in the Box. We've cut about 15, not even 15, about 10 minutes off the movie, but you can stretch that out with different kills. It just reads better, right? Don't worry, the Harvey thing doesn't matter, because my second thing is we're changing that part. We are not having we're not having that girl open it. We're having the mousy girl who's being bullied by Olivia and has a crush on Olivia's boyfriend. She's opening the box now because she's been bullied and she has a desire. She has a wish. She has motive to hate someone. So she opens the box, but Dean gets killed, and now she has to live with the fact that even though she's getting her revenge, she lost the only thing she ever wanted. Isn't that more compelling?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Like the story is basically the same, but just switching it just a little bit gives you a more comparing narrative, I think. And again, we have the benefit of editing a work that already exists instead of like carving it from nothing into being. So the third thing is, forget everything I just said. I want a movie about Harvey Paranormal Collector and his gang of spies.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
That's what I want. That's the real change.
I'm gonna email Lawrence about that. I need that movie to happen. But yeah, that's a decent 3 things. I think one of the things that I would also change is to have much better kills, or much more of a variety of kills. They don't even have to be over the top gory, but just something different besides just grabbing a face. And I know for budget reasons, that was probably the best that they could do.
Well, you could like mime him clawing at people. You wouldn't even have to do like claw marks. You could maybe do fake arterial spray, but like just he's got claws already. Just have them swing at people and cut away. Would still be more variation than grabbing their face and going ugh, and shaking it all about. He puts their whole face in, he puts their whole face out, he just does the hokey pokey and he shakes their head about. Something slightly different would still work without having to change the budget too much.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think some variety would have been very nice.
Yeah, it's a variety pack. Murder.
Yes, variety pack of murder.
Tune into our new true crime podcast, Variety Pack of Murder. We'll crack open some White Claws and tell you about the goriest, most extreme mysteries that you have or haven't heard of, depending on how addicted to true crime you are. All right, that's it for this episode, right?
Yeah, I think that wraps it up for this episode. If you enjoyed it, enjoyed your time with us, remember to like, subscribe, share with a friend. This is a good one. Share with them.
It would have been better with bits.
Yeah.
We should have had bits.
Yeah. Had some pretty unexciting bits. Check us out at foundonshelfpod.com, where you can leave us voicemails. You can leave feedback directly to us. You can listen to all of our episodes there. And find us on any social media stuff, Found on Shelf Pod. And there you go. And you can let us know what you think of the show, offer any suggestions. There you go.
There you go.
Do you have anything else for us here, Patrick?
I was trying to think of a closing joke, and I don't have one, but I will say, hey, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast for your choice. Reviews matter. If it's funny, we'll read it on air.
Yeah.
If it's not funny, we'll read it on air. Look, we're desperate for reviews, so we'll just read it on air. You can tell us to
pay
fuck
attention
off.
to us.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
I let Gimcrack say it. He does bits. He'll tell us to fuck off.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if those are bits, Brad Gimcrack. I think that's just him.
Yeah, I thought he was a nice guy.
I don't know. He's got his moments.
It's been cool to me when we're like renting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never hosted with him. You've hosted with him. How was that?
It was not easy. It was good. I wouldn't mind having him on the show again.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see what we can do about that.
But yeah, I guess that's about all we got for you here. This is where I would normally play the outro music if I remembered to cut it, but Patrick will throw it in at the edit.
Hello, I'm Jack, founder of Jack in the Box. Perhaps you remember when I was fired. Ever since that setback,
well, that was an episode.
Yeah.